welcome back to another session of Let's Play Final Fantasy XVI. Good to have everyone here. Thank you so much for hanging out, and welcome back on YouTube. Has the equipment system gotten any better? No, it hasn't. Although, they've introduced like 2 pieces of equipment that I could optionally get that were slightly better. There was a sword, this sword, that I upgraded that was better than my previous sword until I got this one. And this belt that I had to go do a hunt for that's slightly better than what I had. But, and then this I found in a chest. So, I mean, I don't have just the free equipment I got from a cutscene anymore, but in terms of the equipment actually doing something or being interesting, no. No, it is not any better.
Take a sniff, good sir.
Take a sniff?
Warm from the oven. Made from the stoutest stoneware. On ship, everything I've worked for. Ruined. All those years of toil. Every coin I've ever earned is tied up in this place.
Are you all right?
The baths are closed. Leave me be. On second thought, perhaps you are just what I need. Might your services be for hire?
That depends on the job.
I'd have you save my business, the baths. The water's turned scalding hot and all the crystals in Dalimil wouldn't be enough to cool it. I've no doubt that my woes stem from the water's source. But I can't go and investigate for fear of my customers thinking I've abandoned the place. I'm bound to these baths in more ways than one. I beg of you. Go to Dusnoff Terraces. Tell me what you find there.
All right.
I'll go and take a look.
Wonderful. It's not far. Leave the market by the south gate. The smell of sulfur will guide you the rest of the way. These baths are all that keep me from...
You don't have to tell me that it's not far away. I'm sure it's like 2 feet away.
My very life is at stake.
Let's grab the other side quest just on the happenstance. It's actually close, but... once you go flat...
Fresh from the grill. Get it while it's hot. Yes, they're quite sort.
I've never even forged a butter knife. Perhaps Forge Master Luber's having fun at my expense.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Neither would I.
Oh, wait.
Are you Clive? Sorry, my mind was elsewhere. I'm Sava, Master Luber's least accomplished apprentice.
Least accomplished.
Soon to be former apprentice if I don't pass this test. Maybe I'm just not the resourceful type. People are buying up weapons faster than the Briar's Kiss can forge them, and here I am, unable to make a decent bit of kitchenware. He wants me to make a carving knife, one that embodies the spirit of Dalimil. Whatever that's supposed to mean. I don't suppose you have any idea what he's on about, do you?
I'm afraid not.
Never mind. Thought I'd ask. It was that or pack my bags.
I could give you a hand if you like. I know how busy the Briar's Kiss has been, and that Lubor needs all the capable hands he can find.
I'd be a fool to refuse.
So, where do we start?
Good question. If I'm honest, I've never made any kind of knife before. And then there's this little riddle to keep in mind. The spirit of Dalimil. Nothing is ever simple with that man.
The way I see it, there's only one way we'll be solving Lubor's puzzle. We need information. The more the better.
You're right. There's no point fumbling in the dark, I suppose. Now, who to speak to first? Well, there's plenty of folk in Dalimil who use knives for a living. There's the butcher, of course, and any number of cooks. They're bound to have an opinion or two about the tools of their trade. All right. I think we have a plan. let's get to it, shall we? I'll talk to every cook I can find. You speak to the butcher, and anyone else you can think of.
All right.
I do like these missions where it feels like the NPC's actually doing something. So just making you do it. Okay. If you'd like, I'll give you a hand. Oh, thanks. With packing your bags.
I'd better get
Oh.
to it.
Hello, doggo.
When did you get so big?
Alright, well, all this is in here, so I can't really do these at the same time. I suppose I could talk to this guy on my way out, though.
The finest fabric.
It would make a fine needed for your
Welcome, sir. What can I do you for?
A question, if you don't mind. I need to know what makes a good carving knife.
You a blacksmith or something?
Something, I suppose.
Fair enough. Knives, is it? First and foremost, it's got to hold an edge. Most knives will make it through fat, no problem, but sinew dulls cheap steel in no time. Give me a blade which can slice through anything that crosses my chopping block, and I'm a happy woman.
So a knife that stays sharp. Makes sense.
And shocking revelations here. What are they gonna say next? It needs to have a handle?
Plates and pots!
Sweet inside.
Ha! They've opened the gate!
Lubor was true to his word.
Yeah, but what would be...
What is it? I'm in no mood for chatter.
Sorry. Do you mind if I ask your trade?
Hunter, why?
I have a question. Can you tell me what makes a good carving knife? I assume you use one out in the field.
Has to be able to put up with some punishment. Can't be dealing with a brittle blade, not while I'm on the hunt. If your knife snaps every time
the
you use
hunt.
it, you'll be spending coin as fast as you make it. Times are hard enough as it is.
Thank you. I won't keep you any longer.
All business, eh? Man after my own heart.
So, a carving knife should be hard-wearing and hold an edge. Hardly a revelation. Let's hope Sava had better luck than I did.
At least Clive. At least Clive agrees. Hardly a revelation.
Ah, I'm not too late.
What is it, Lubor?
A question that I neglected to ask earlier. Where is it that you're bound?
To Drake's Fang. To finish Hugo Kupka.
Just as I thought. Then allow me to share a secret. Drake's Fang is currently riddled with royalists. Talmeki and Walud are allies, and as you have seen, their soldiers work hand in glove. But no nation has ever before allowed a foreign army to make a barracks of its holiest of holies.
Not by choice, at least.
And there's more. My man on the inside of the Fang has failed to report for several days. I fear there may be more trouble lying in wait for you on the road ahead.
Isn't there always?
If you're determined to beard the lion's den, then promise me one thing. That you will enter via the mines, where the guard is lightest. I've lost one Cid already. If I lose another, people will start to think me careless.
I don't plan on dying. Not before Kupka does, anyway.
Well, so long as you have a plan.
Like how he's warmed up to us.
Drake's Fang should be just beyond these springs. Shall we press on?
Oh boy, more bombs. Look at that water.
Come on, girl, the gate's open now.
What the hell are those things?
Those are bombs. Dude, Titan's icon is pretty scary. I really like what they did with Titan, because Titan's always been kind of a meme. Like, he looks pretty goofy in most of the games. Just goofy strong man. I like that he's, like, scary in this one. I mean, I don't know a ton about, like... I don't know a ton about the mythology of Titan, but I'm pretty sure he's, like, not just a strong man. Like, pretty sure he's kind of like there's anger involved. Now I'm curious. Let's look it up. So, I mean, there's the Titans in Greek mythology. I don't think there was an actual just Titan, though, right? What other mythology could it be? Because Final Fantasy doesn't just take from Greek mythology. I'm really just seeing the Greek mythology Titans. Now, in Greek mythology, the Titans were the original gods before the Olympians took over. But there were 12 of them, and they were all different, so I don't really know if Titan specifically takes from one of them. Could be Gaia. There was Uranus, Gaia, Oceanus, Coeus, Hyperion, Lapetus, and Cronus. And then Thea, Rhea, Themis, Nomus. Okay, I can't pronounce half of these. Phoebe, I don't remember Phoebe. And Tethys. Those were the female Titans. So, like... But the two primordial Titans were Uranus and Gaia, which is the sky and the earth. So, you would imagine it'd be from Gaia, but Gaia was a female Titan, so... Perhaps not. Could also be Cronus. No, I know the Titans, but I'm saying I don't know what Titan, because there's not a specific Titan that this Titan would be based on. Because, like I said, Gaia was the primordial Titan of the Earth, but Gaia was also a female. So is it a male version of Gaia? Is it a combination of Gaia and one of the others? Kronos was the time, the god of time, but Kronos, the Cronus, the Titan, is the Titan of harvest, which also doesn't really fit too much. But I want to say that Titan is more of just a icon of all the Titans, like in general. Primordial god of Earth kind of thing. But I don't know. If anyone knows, like on YouTube or something, feel free to fill us in if there's more to it than just that. I'd be curious to hear, but I feel like with this Titan, it's kind of a primordial power, so just kind of like, not exactly anger, but just kind of that primordial being of strength that doesn't really have like complex emotions, you know? If that makes sense. He's just kind of the personification of power, which is kind of the way that Kupka acts as well. But see, in the other Final Fantasy games, he kind of just comes across as big, meaty earth summon, you know, like you don't get as much of like the anger, the power, the primordial being. He's just kind of a big, strong dude. So I like what they did with him in this game. He feels more akin to like a primordial beast, primordial power. But he kind of has his own thing going on too.
Flames. That explains the heat.
No, the desert explains the heat, I think. So to answer your question, Retro, I picked Titan because I like the circle better. But I think I'm going to take Ramuh's Judgment Bolt and put it in Titan. But I gotta master it first, and it's like 7 million points. But I think that's my plan. That is a good point. A lot of times, the attack itself references Gaia, so... I kind of like this idea of Titan and Final Fantasy being like a mix, like a male version of Gaia. A mix of all the Titans, but then like Gaia's power in particular, even though it's always male.
Out of the frying pan.
Ouch. I mean, to be completely honest, I think probably what happened is they wanted to use Gaia, but they had too many female summons already. That would be my guess. This thing's called Old Faithful. That's kind of funny. Like a geyser. Maybe? I don't know. He has a crown. It's like the Bomb King. Yeah, I mean, they've always taken certain liberties with the summons. They don't just copy the Greek mythology. They use it as a reference and like they take inspiration from them, but they're not necessarily like literally copy and pasting the Greek god into a summon, you know. So it makes sense that they would kind of put their own spin on it.
Let's hope it's enough to keep the baths from boiling.
Oh, that's what he meant by the heat. So yeah, it makes sense. They took the idea of Gaia and turned it into just a personification of all the Titans. Which is cool. Some of the Greek gods are a bit more copy and pasted, but... or Greek monsters. But most of them are more like they take inspiration from them and then put their own fantasy spin on it. Like Bahamut being the king of the dragons, but then they were like, but what if Bahamut in space? How's it going, Ristianos? Unfortunately, no. There is basically no element. So, like, the summons have quote-unquote elements, but it's just visual. There's no actual elemental damage. There's no ailments. There's no absorbing. Everything is basically non-elemental.
We should get going soon. Do you have water?
But what if punctuation in space?
The man who saved... I was hoping we'd be seeing you again. The baths grow more bearable by the moment. It won't be long now before we are back to business as usual.
I'm glad to hear it.
Now, tell me this.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if, like, 90% of the time, a summon being male or female is just based on how many male or female summons they have currently. You know what I mean? Like, they just tried to balance it out. They're like, all right, we got Ifrit, who's a male, Shiva, who's a female, Siren's a female, we need another male. Titan's usually female, or Gaia's normally female, but let's make a male since we already have 2 females. Okay, then we got a dragon and a lizard, and, you know, just trying to, like, balance it out. That would be my guess.
What did you find at the terraces? What threatened to make me a pauper?
Not what I expected,
Papa.
that's for certain.
You tell a fine story. That's not to say I don't believe you, though. Creatures made of flame, eh? That's something new to worry about. But I burdened you with my worries enough already. Here, a small something by way of thanks. Right. It's high time I got back to work. With a little luck, the day might yet be salvaged.
Whatever Pandemonia is. Yeah. We don't talk about Pandemonia.
Made from the stoutest stoneware.
And Ramu is old guy. Which mythology Ramu comes from? That's a good question. I don't actually know. Lord of the Rings.
Yes, they're quite sort of.
I want to say it's not Greek, but I could totally be wrong. Hindu god. Wait. There's a Hindu god named Vishnu. And there's also a Mesopotamian creature named Lamu, who could also be a reference. But there is no, like, lightning god named Ramu. That's like that's a Final Fantasy thing. And apparently the name comes from the Hebrew word for thunder, which is Ram. Interesting. Yeah, like I said, it's not like every summon they just took some Roman or Greek god and just like pasted it. Like, a lot of it's they took inspiration, but then they came up with their own parts as well.
So, how'd it go? You learn anything useful, or should I be looking for a new trade?
Only that a blade should be durable and stay sharp. But I don't see how that relates to the spirit of Dalamil.
I didn't have much luck either. All the cook said was that he needs his knives to be light. Too heavy, and they do his shoulder in.
So we're no better off than when we started. Perhaps Lubor didn't mean anything with his Dalamil remark. But that can't be right. I've bandied enough words with the man to know that he chooses them carefully. No. We must be missing something. Something right in front of our noses, most likely.
No doubt you're right, but I have to make a start soon. I can't put off making this knife forever.
Agreed. Lubor wouldn't like that much.
Right. I've been trained to work iron. The cheap stuff, mind. But it's hardy enough if you don't hammer it too thin, and it sharpens up nicely with a bit of effort. Trouble is, it's either durable or it's light. Meaning someone is gonna be disappointed. Forge Master Lubor, probably.
Is there no one else you can turn to? Someone who knows their metals, perhaps?
The other apprentices know better than to help me with my test. But maybe there is someone I could turn to. A merchant, a favorite of Forge Master Lubor's, who sells metals to tradesmen passing through the Valcroy. I bet she'd know a thing or two.
See ya. I love how Torgo's always like running up ahead. Yeah, I like the desert song too. Now that I've heard it for a bit.
Any luck? Or will you be needing help with your bags?
Well, I asked her, but... you tell him.
If you're looking to make a knife that will impress a master like Lubor, there are options. They're just not that viable. Featherlight adamantite knives will get passed from generation to generation, never needing so much as a lick of the whetstone. But adamantite ore is unique to ash, so it doesn't come cheap.
And it's beyond my skill to handle.
Unique to ash. Are there any materials unique to Dalamil? Something which could be mixed with iron to refine it. Make it lighter.
What are you getting at?
You said that Lubor trained you to work iron. Then that's what he'll expect you to use. But he would have known that it would either be too heavy or too brittle for a carving knife. Perhaps his Dalamil remark wasn't a riddle, but a hint.
If it's cheap metal you're using, then there's always limestone, I suppose. Folk first settled Dalamil to get at her mineral deposits. And, if you know the trick, it can be melted down in the furnace to drive out impurities from low-quality iron.
Bloody hell! That must be it! I don't suppose you know the trick, do you?
It's hardly my speciality, but I've been around enough blacksmiths to know how it works.
Looks like I've got some learning to do. Clive, I hate to ask after all that you've done for me, but...
The limestone? Fine. I can hardly abandon you now. Besides, I want to know if this is the answer to Lubor's little riddle.
I can't thank you enough, Clive.
I kind of like this side
You'll
quest.
have no trouble finding limestone over in the terraces. The place is bloody made of it.
Then I suppose I'll meet you back at the forge.
Right you are. I'll see you shortly.
I mean, I've liked every side quest in terms of the writing.
So, do you crush it up, or just...
And this one actually at least has multiple steps, even though it's mostly just fetch questing. This one was decent. This was just fetch questing though, unless I have to fight something for this limestone, but I don't think I do. I don't think it's out of character. I think it actually helps to show us his character for the most part. I mean, even at the very beginning of the game, he was like going out of his way to help people. I think they showed us that on purpose so that when we got to this point, we wouldn't think it was weird. Like, I think that scene with him with the guys with the apples was like really important because it made all these side quests feel like something that Clive would actually be into and not, you know, We don't have this, like, super tough guy protagonist that doesn't care about anyone, but then he, like, goes out of his way to collect limestone. Like, he definitely has been
One rock looks a lot like another.
personable throughout the whole game, yeah.
Hopefully this is what Seven needs.
You have, like, Squall that's like, whatever, I don't care about anyone, and he goes around playing cards with everyone.
Finally, we'll be able to get what's
Sweet incense. What candle?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I still think that pretty much throughout the entire game, he's been super personable to everyone. Like, even if you just did the story quests, and you didn't do a single side quest, even, like, the regular people that he talks to, he always is going out of his way to help people.
I wasn't sure how much you'd need, but I hope this is enough.
Like, I'm trying to think of a good example of a story mission, but there's definitely not a single part of the game where he's like, nah, I'm not helping you. Like, the only part is when he first gets to the hideout and he's like not sold on him yet. And Sid is like, you gotta help out around here, and he's like, I'm not even I'm not even with you guys. But then that very quickly changes after like the first story mission, where he's like, alright, I'm in. So, but that's like the only part I could think of where he's hesitant to help people. Other than that, throughout the whole game, whenever someone asks for something, he always goes out of his way to help them. And then, like, in terms of the people that he interacts with, all the towns and stuff, it's the same way. Right. Yeah, no, he just had another mission in mind. But, I mean, he didn't trust him yet. He had literally just met them, so. Right. I'm just trying to think, would we have the same opinion of him if we literally did not a single side quest? I think we would. I just can't think of a specific story mission, but I'm sure there's plenty where he acts the same way.
You are one of the good ones, you know that. You and that merchant both, she's got quite a gift for teaching that one. Now, time to see if limestone is the secret weapon we were hoping for.
And then when he takes the title of Sid, then it's like for sure. Like everyone there respects him and says that he's always helping him and stuff, you know.
That'll do, I reckon.
Yeah, the mid thing.
Knife forged from the very rocks of Dalamil.
The mid quest was a story quest. And he goes out of his way to help her. That one makes a bit more sense,
I only
but
hope Master Lubor agrees.
That sounds like my cue. And just as well.
that looks like a knife from the Stone Age.
I'm sorry, Forge Master Lubor.
Let's take a look then, shall we? First things first, Safa, do you think this is a carving knife worthy of the fine people of Dalamil?
I'd like to think so. But what do you think?
What do I think indeed? It's sharp-ish, but it won't last long with hard use. And it's heavy, heavier than it should be. You might not think it just to hold it for a moment, but sell that to a cook and you'll never hear the end of it. It looks like someone paid a visit to the terraces. The limestone was a step in the right direction, granted, but one that still leaves you short of the mark.
And I was so certain I had it all worked out.
3 out of 10
I don't know
knife.
who you found to teach you that little trick, but it certainly shows initiative. Next question. How much do you think I would charge if I'd made this?
Well, if it took you even a fraction of the time it took me, I would say you could demand a heavy purse.
And who would be able to pay that? The butcher? The hunter? The cooks over at the inn? Dalimil is home to humble traders, not wealthy lords and ladies. Rule number 1 in any business, Sava: know your customers.
Yes, Forge Master.
This is just about passable. But only just. I'd say you're worth keeping around a little longer. Starting tomorrow, you'll have an anvil of your own.
I will. Thank you. I was wondering, what would you do if you were asked to forge a carving knife?
I'd do what I always do. Ask who it's for. If it was for the butcher, I'd make sure it holds an edge. For the hunter, I'd make it as tough as Titan. For the cook, light as a feather. And for the nobleman, I'd make it cost an absolute fortune.
There goes a master, all right.
It looks like congratulations are in order.
I couldn't have done it without you. So much for the Forge Master's riddle, though, eh? The spirit of Dalimil had nothing to do with limestone or anything much at all. Meaning, I had you run around for no good reason.
You've passed your test. That's all that matters. You'll have a forge of your own in no time.
And when I do, I'll craft you the finest carving knife you have ever seen.
Know your customer. That's what we've learned today. I got nothing from that quest. Alright, we out. Wrong way. I got wisdom.
Is it true what I'm hearing?
My carpet.
Take a sniff, good sir.
Fresh bread,
warm from the oven. Made from the stoutest stone.
But he's medieval Batman. True. Alright, I gotta go grab more coffee.
Finally, we'll be able to get what's over.
We should get going soon. Do you have water?
So let me go do that. I'll be back in just a second. Alright. Where are my ability points at? This was like 3,140, so need like 600 more points. Need like 54. 5,400 before I can get Judgment Bolt back.
Come on, girl, the gate's open.
Nope. It was pretty clear here yesterday. Only booming we were hearing were fireworks all night. The sickle. Look at this, like, drastic change.
There it is. Drake's Fang.
Kupka will be hiding inside.
How's it going, airheads?
Along with goodness knows how many guards, all on highest alert, you'll need to keep your wits about you if you're to reach him. So be careful.
I will, Uncle.
Before you go, Clive, allow me to apologize. After what befell at Phoenix Gate and the crisis that followed in its wake, I fled. I retreated to my counting house and danced attendance upon the vicereine in the hope it would bring me favor. I betrayed my nation to save my skin, like the coward I am. And I'm sorry.
Uncle, please.
It's not too late, Clive. Rosaria is yours by right, and there are those that would help you to take it back. Had I the courage of my brother, I might already have done so. But that ship has sailed. You, however...
No. Forgive me, but I cannot. I fight to build a new world now. A better world. Where men can live and die on their own terms. I was raised in a nation that strove to improve the plight of bearers. Only later did I realize that spark of freedom did not arise by chance, but was kindled by my father. You would see me follow in his footsteps. And that is exactly what I mean to do. Not by ruling Rosaria, but by extending his ideals to the whole of the twins. Though every soul in the realm may judge my actions heresy, I am certain my cause is just.
You really are just like him, you know? Thank you, Clive, for coming back to me. I am proud to call you nephew. Well then, this is where we must part ways. Wish me luck in convincing my Canvarian friend to share his considerable talents. I mean to plunder his coffers and prove myself worthy of a place in your merry band. Till then, my boy.
Till then, go safely, Uncle.
And you, nephew. We have much to catch up on, you and I. I shall expect you to regale me with the tales of all your adventures when next we meet. You can regale me too, Torgal.
I'm coming for you, Kupka.
I tell you what, they absolutely nailed the hearty uncle laugh. It's like the best part. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Like perfect. Just how I would expect an uncle to laugh. I'd go back to the hideaway, but I'm sure there's nothing here for us. There's probably no more hunts. It's not going to be any equipment to make.
The little ones have been up to their old tricks again.
I got a new letter. Oh, maybe there is a new hunt. I'm shocked. A hill to die on. 10,000 gil. Among Republican merchants, reports abound of caravans being crushed by a black boulder, a creature indeterminate in nature but quite decided in size, strength, and spite. He or she who took it upon themselves to seek out and slay this black mass would earn the eternal gratitude of not only the desert traders, but of the curse breakers who risk life and limb with every trip through the Velcroy. It's only rank B, instead of rank A like this one. Also, I just realized we get a picture of the enemy once we, like, if it starts off as question marks, or starts off as text, we get a picture of it once we beat it. And we get the full name. That's neat. Clive drew him. This is what it looked like.
Sid's going to...
I accepted your friend request on Diablo, by the way, Airheads. Saw you sent me one. How's it going, Leon? Welcome. I trust you will forgive me for putting you and your dear uncle to the test. I am confident that a man of your position can understand the importance of earning one's trust, especially in times like these. For what it is worth, you now have earned mine, and I can assure you it shall not easily be relinquished. May this be a start of a fruitful relationship. Excellent. Mav, thank you for the gifted sub to Leon. Welcome to the crew. Alright, just for the haha funny joke of it, let's go check the blacksmith. No, it's very happy to have you here.
Back, are you? What do you want?
What you want? Oh, I can make these now. Guess I might as well.
No scratches, all right?
Plus 3 HP, let's freaking go. Oh wow, the desert's... He's somewhere in the desert, so this is gonna take a little bit of exploring. She was like, hey, why'd you call me if you're not gonna ride me?
Yeah.
Yo, Mr. Pin, thank you for the primer. 18 months, thank you. Is that a snail? Oh, I thought it was a snail. Gotta say, riding around the desert with my Chocobo and Doggo, pretty dope. You're not American, you fit in with like 75% of my audience. At least my Twitch audience. I'm not actually sure what the demographics are like on my YouTube. Like the YouTube regulars, that is. But in terms of the Twitch regulars, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 75% across the pond. And that's just mostly due to my time zone when I stream. But I remember back when I started YouTube, my audience was also very across the pond, and that's YouTube, like that's on demand. But still, for whatever reason, a big part of my audience was not American. So I think that's carried through to now, where a lot of my regulars are people that used to watch me way back in the day. So that's another reason. I think you guys just like making fun of me for my Ohio accent, not gonna lie. That's what it is. He's on to us. Or my lack of.
Time to fight.
Oh, time to run. Like the little sand tornadoes. The Sarud Dan storms. I suppose you... Wait. Did it say Northern Velcroy Desert? Maybe it did. Nah, I don't remember. I guess I'll only take a second to go check. I just saw Velcroy Desert and I was like, alright, he's in the desert.
The little uns have been up to their old tricks again.
Oh, just says Velcroy Desert. Maybe it's in that top area.